Top John, cousin Big Cass, Head Knocker TV. I want to start by saying happy 4th of July to everyone. Hope your day has started off safe, peaceful. And as we go into the night, some of you have already gone into the night. Please be safe with these fireworks. Be easy on the liquor. Get home safe. Also, want to give a unfortunate rest in peace to a very solid young man, young noble, Tupac and the Outlaws. We've known each other for years, but we didn't really become not tight, but we spoke at least every week or every other week. And I was told, unfortunately, he unalived himself. I don't know if it was yesterday or today, but it came out today. So, I think I'm the last person he did a song with. I did a remix to the Waylon Jennings Outlaw song. And I put him on the remix with Tupac on the hook. But rest in peace to that brother. You guys never know what somebody's going through. Call your loved ones, man. Even if y'all aren't really clicking, just say, hey, man, I'm just checking on you, see how you're doing. But let's get this started. This video is sponsored by Brap Energy Shot and Brap Energy Pre-Workout. This is me and my brother's brand. We got tired of wasting our money on C4 and other coffee and energy drinks. And, they work momentarily, but if you notice, the crash is something terrible, and the shakes and the itches. One thing everybody kept asking, we were going through the recipe, and we tried so many different, the energy shots. I've got a great young man that works at a lab that put it together. The pre-workout is a company that I actually was physically there when I was living in Thailand last year. But what people were complaining about was itching. And I said, well, the reason why you're itching, because 90% of most pre-workouts have niacin in them. Niacin is what heats your blood up. That's not what's in here. You got in the the energy shots, you have 200 milligrams of caffeine. It tastes like a watermelon blow pop. In the pre-workout, what we did 100 mgs of caffeine, but we also do citrulline in there, ashwagandha. It gives you such a smooth clarity. So you can go to brapenergyshot.com. The link is always in the description. And understand something. I don't have Patreon. I don't ask for donations. We literally, me and my brother, put every dime up. And it is not cheap to start to start a supplement company. But, grab yourself a bottle, man. And it's called Brap. So how can you be a biker and you don't have a few of these in your bags or in your jacket or in your chaleco? Or start your day out with a pre-workout shot instead of running to the store. Let me clear something up real quick. When I have people go, well, let me try some out. Can you go to the store and say, hey, man, I've never tried this one. Can I try it out? Stop being a fucking bum. We're all independent that watch these YouTube videos. We pretty much are all just from the cuff working class folks. And we probably gave out, honest to God, 200 bottles of the pre-workout, which that's an easy couple thousand gone. And in the energy shots, easily 1,000. Easily. During bike week, we shout out to my girl Tiny. She murdered the streets of Arizona during bike week. So, you don't get to go to the restaurant and go, can I try this first? Or go to your Circle K or your 7-Eleven and go, can I try this before I buy it? If you don't like it, don't ever buy it again. But I stand by and I swear you guys will love me for this, because there's no shakes, no, just the crash. It's just a very beautiful thing. But let's get on the topic of this video. What in the fuck is wrong with you guys, man, in this motorcycle world? Do you think there's a difference between gangbanging and outlaw life? Do you think that, oh, I'm a 1%, I'm a 1%, but I'm a vote for a president and he's going to make some, here's something when I always say, I don't do politics, I don't do religion, I don't do race baiting, and I don't do drugs. And for my channel as a 1%er, I don't do news at 2, so-and-so shot up so-and-so. But this one, I'm going to touch on that noise y'all hearing, my big ass dog. Knock it off. She's 1 year old, about 120 pounds, and she thinks she's still 2 months old. But I will never, ever do a report dry snitching, calling myself a 1%er or an ex-1%er or whatever, and talking about something another club got into it. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. If you see me on the street, walk up to me and pop me in my head. That's not what, we don't do dry snitching. Now, if I talk about, oh man, this is dope what this club did, or this is dope with this club, but I'm just not doing it, man. I have a very small enough trolls already making up stuff about me that will never come say it to my face. I'm not going to sit here and put more stress because I'm going to be another podcaster or YouTuber that says, oh man, so-and-so club is at war with so-and-so. I'm not doing that. And the ones that do it, hey man, more power to you. But stop calling yourself, you were a 1%er, you are a 1%er. Nah, you're a news reporter now. You're a news reporter now. And if that's what you do, there's nothing wrong. That's fine, that's you. But stop saying you are, this is where you find the 1%er news. No, this is where you dry snitch and you sit there and you talk about with this club, but then say you're a part of that. No. You've separated yourself now. But let's get to the matter at hand. I'm going to say it again. Do you realize a lot of us came from gangbanging? I come from rolling 60s. No matter what the trolls may say, this has been on my hand forever. This RSC has been on me forever. This NH, this 60 has been on me forever. And everybody knows if you put something on your body that ain't supposed to be there, eventually somebody gonna come toe tag your ass and make you take it off. Or they gonna mud check you. But I did the ignorant thing of gangbanging, which made me lose a lot of time, to get into motorcycle life, to experience the same stuff over a piece of material, over a stick. Check it out, gangbang, neighborhood 60, Crip. I don't own nothing on 60th Street. Absolutely nothing. I don't own nothing on Crenshaw. I don't own nothing on 3rd Avenue and 52nd where I used to live. I don't get a check. I don't get a Social Security check from being shot, from having Parkinson's. You don't get nothing from gangbanging. You know what you get from being in a motorcycle club? Memories and miles. You know what you get for being a 1%er? Memories and miles. You know what you get for being a dumbass and committing stupid things? You get jail sentences or death. So if you did gangbang and you said, I'm going to leave that alone because, man, I really love this motorcycle, why would you bring it over into your motorcycle life? I saw a podcaster say, hey, man, you do know when you join a club, you inherit their beefs. Let me make something clear. I have never, not once. I'll tell you a situation. Club I was in, this is how you don't dry snitch. The club I was in, there was an incident where we were about to get out with another club. And on my watch, I couldn't let something happen to this one individual. On my watch. And I remember standing there, realizing I'm about to either take someone's life or lose my life by being unalived or going to jail. For something I had usually about some raggedy ass female or about some dumbass window licker that thought somebody looked at him wrong, or somebody had a bike night, or on or opening night on their night. And I remember standing there thinking, I don't even like this dude who I'm about to stand up for. Like on my watch, I gotta have his back. But if he was across the street, oh, they're gonna get about 70 punches or stab wounds in, because I'm gonna have the worst case of glaucoma. Because I don't even like this person. But we get caught up in this, oh man, as long as you got that patch on, you're my brother. No, you're not. You have to be born into a family, and that automatically makes you blood. You know, blood makes you family. Experiences and situations and, you know, going through things in life. My bad. Blood makes you related. Going through experiences. So I'm getting hyped up because I did not want to make this video, and I hope it hits home, but blood makes you related. Experiences and memories and miles, and that makes you family, not that patch. That patch does not make you blood. It does not make that man your brother. Go do so. I say it again, this is probably the 8th time I've said this, and I'm going to keep saying it in different videos. This is the only organization that's almost like the Cub Scouts or Boy Scouts, or that you add a patch and you're instantly calling each other brother. As I stood there that night, and luckily nothing cracked off, that same night, my charter was about to get into all-out bang-em with my own club. So we just almost got into it with a whole nother different club, and about 30 minutes later, we were about to get into it with our own nation. And I remember I switched straight to gangbanging, like, oh, cuz if we doing this, it's just on neighborhood, like this club stuff. I'm not gonna name no names. I'm not gonna name any clubs. But man, if there's anybody watching this, I'm out here I had a dumb motherfucker in this nation that was like, I'm out here on the front line, and you out in Thailand. Yeah, stupid. You're on the front line of what? What are you on the front line of? What was the argument about that put you on this front line? What was the bitch's name? What was the raggedy little bitch's name? And that dude, by the way, is in jail. I'm not disheartened or unenchanted with club life. I am just blown away by the stupidity of you're inheriting a beef. Don't you have somebody from kindergarten that kicks sand in your face? Don't you have somebody in the 6th grade that dope fiends you? Go find that person if you got some built-up frustration. Catch them at a gas station and do your thing. And I hope everything works out. But you will get in a club to be free. And I see so many pictures of this. I was going to do a video about guys that do this. It makes me look tough. And then I realized it's going to be a short video because it's just dumb. Like, why are you F the world? I like the world. I ride in it. I'm so sick and tired of seeing, yeah. Okay. Well, if it's F society, because if that's, F the, don't vote. You should not have any racial issues because you're saying F everything else. It's all about just me and this patch and this nation I belong to. But instead, you probably ain't never had a fight in your life. You ain't never had your snot box just completely busted. And now all of a sudden you put on this chaleco. We call this stinky thumbs. Stand here doing this. You see these guys? I don't even know how to make my thumbs. I think nobody will ever find a picture of me standing here like this. I will do this, I'll do this. But these guys right here, these old stinky thumbs. And man, let me tell you, I love 1% of life. I don't bend. I literally reached out to someone who's really like a brother of mine because I'm doing a documentary and he was involved in that life. And he said, man, why'd you stop talking to me? I said, because you voted. You can't play both sides, bro. You can't be a 1%er and every picture this, and F the world, and then you're voting because you think those laws are made for you. No, those laws are made against you. When we're doing this stupid, as I said, I'm not going to separate myself because I might be next to somebody, he's going to crack it off, and I might have to help them, but I'm going to hook him up afterwards. But when you thinking this orange dirtbags, hey, dummy, when you do the stuff you're doing, you fall into the same terroristic threats that he's trying to put them on. So when he's making that law, he's making it for you too. Imagine. And I'm not saying, look, man, I'm one of those guys. I hold grudges forever. Let me make something clear. If you've ever done something to me, I just haven't caught you yet. I hold grudges forever. I don't forgive anyone. So please don't think this is a kumbaya speech. I just don't have beef with other clubs. If you come kick dirt in my sandbox, I'm going to deal with you accordingly. I'm not going to go, hey, man, guess what this guy did? No, I'm going to deal with you accordingly. If I make it another year and I run into somebody I consider an enemy, trust me, I'm going to reintroduce myself to you. But man, imagine if we all just went, I don't have to be friends with this person, but it'll cost me absolutely nothing to ride by him, walk by him, turn the other way, act like he don't even exist. But it'll cost me my life or my freedom and my family for that 2 seconds of testosterone that I think I need to prove a point. If that man ain't never did nothing to you, and you just, because there's issues with the clubs or whatever, the next time you have Misa, church, I hope one of y'all brave enough to say, man, you know what? You ain't even got to say, I saw Big Cass, blah, blah, blah. Just say, you know what, man, whoever we got issues with, I'm not going to let y'all choose my fate. I'm not going to let y'all, who's not going to take care of my kids, who's going to be trying to bang my old lady, who's going to be trying to get my bike, who's going to try to say I owe money, might throw a little car wash for me, a little GoFund, and everybody will ignore it. Clubs will start GoFunds and say, oh, we need this amount. And when you realize that amount is not reached, here's what nobody's thinking. How many beers or drinks were drank in the amount of time that GoFund was up? Probably enough within 2 days that GoFund could have been met. How much other extracurricular activities were inhaled or whatever while that GoFund was up? Probably enough within a couple of days could have paid it off. So if you really keep thinking, man, your club loves you, I'm a 1%er. When I put my chaleco on, retired or not, I wear it for me. I don't wear it thinking I got a bunch of brothers. Man, I'm not even kind of joking. I function with one member. He's the president out here. And we didn't click at first. We did, and then we didn't. And I took it upon myself to sit with this man. I saw him yesterday, chilled at his house for a good couple hours. And man, we laughed. We laughed. And I shared some personal stuff to him. And he said, man, I support whatever you're doing. He's checked on me literally every day since my surgery last week. And I told him again in his face, so you are 100% what you are for this club. I am 100% terrible the protocol for this club, but I'm 160% a one percenter. And I said I should have spent a little more time learning about the history of this club. So I'm doing that now. And I went to his house yesterday. I asked him questions like, hey, man, how'd this start? How that started? I'm retired, but I want to know. But man, listen, it was funny because I hit Black Dragon and asked him, can I use the video clip of a sheriff who was talking about he wants to pass laws and he's going to even reach out to the president and try to put it on the books that motorcycle gangs are terrorists. So I asked him, could I use the clip? And he said, of course. And then I thought about it. I went, no, because again, it's going to show that club. It's nothing against Big Brother Dragon. It's nothing against Sos. It's nothing against Stacks. It's against whoever takes it fucking personal. And that goes to those same names. If they take it personal, then that's on them. For whatever it is, that not for whatever, for what they do, that's what suits their platform. You know, when I gave Sos his props, man, that dude has spearheaded pretty much. I was doing it right before him, and then I stopped. And then he talked me back into doing it. Then Black Dragon coached me. Then Stacks helped me. I just choose not to do the news at 2 stuff. You know, I just don't want to put that in. I don't want to put more pressure on a club that's already going through stuff, because for the dumbasses that kicked it off, that's on you. You bought that. For the ones that are at work that heard about it, that's like, oh man, I'm down because I wasn't there. I didn't crack that off, but now I got to worry if they're going to come kick my door in. You know what I mean? I would say he's my best friend. And we talk almost every day. And an incident cracked off. He was not there. But he can now not wear his colors till things cool down. I can wear mine. But I'm going to go out with him regardless. And I say, man, don't worry about it. I won't wear mine if you're not wearing yours. You know, I don't want to bring no attention to you. But I don't like not wearing mine. Because man, if I got beefs, get out where you're mad at. But he said, man, I had nothing to do with that. But I got to take the punishment. That's what you signed up for. But you have to understand that you did not come from gangbanging. And then all of a sudden, you want to be a gangster in the motorcycle world. You should have just gangbanged. You know how dumb we look in our 40s and 50s, 60s, falling around on the ground, fighting each other. You know, being dumb we look at our ages now, walking in, trying to play tough when you just finished an 8-hour job, busting your ass, trying to feed your family, and then you put your chaleco on, or for some of you, a costume, and then you turn into Billy Badass. If you were Billy the Kid, Billy Badass, you don't need that chaleco. It ain't gonna make you no tougher. I love this 1%er life. But what is the difference between a gangbanger and a 1% outlaw biker now? Absolutely nothing. And those laws that are being made for gangs, please, my beautiful 1% brothers, stop thinking those laws aren't for you. Stop calling yourself a 1%er. You're at Trump rallies. And I wouldn't care if it was Kamala Harris. You cannot say a 1%er, I go against the grain, I'm nothing like the other 99%ers, but you out there, Trump, and those laws are not for you. They're for you for your taxes. They're for you for your Medi-Cal, for your medical. They're for you if you need to get Medi-Cal, aid, assistance. They're for you for your housing. Then let your wife do that. But you cannot scream and be like, F the world, I'm an outlaw, and then over here you filling out ballot boxes. Because that same person you voting for, that same city councilman, I said at a COC meeting once, and if you ever run into Spike from the Hessians, Jason, who has the show Patch podcast with Mooch, Tombstone, who used to be a Vago, and Sarge, who used to be a Vago, I stood up in Mississippi because people were talking about we need councilmen and we need lobbyists and we need this and we need voting. And I stood up and I said, hey, my name is so-and-so from this club, and this is the gayest shit I've ever been to. And the room was at least 300 people, maybe two. And people turned, I said, this is the gayest shit I've ever been to. We're in here talking about how we need lobbyists and we need laws passed and we need councilmen and we need legislation. And I said, we can't even fake like we like it in this room. You don't think there's no cops in this room that are going, oh, look, that club over there said something about this club and he don't like that. You see the tension, and there's 8 chairs between me and this person right here. And those guys don't want to come sit over here because they got beef. And the COC is supposed to be about not so much peace, just setting your differences to the side. And I said, this is the gayest I've ever been to. If you don't think cops aren't in this room, we can't even fake it in here. And people start applauding. And I mean, nothing but 1% of clubs. I was about to say a club name. Nothing but 1% of clubs are in that room. And I said, for the club that has issues with the club I'm in, I'm going to go outside. If you have issues with me, just know at least a couple of you or 3 going to know you've been in a fight. You guys will win the fight. But you're going to walk away going, God damn, that dude hits hard. And if you search my name, there's a picture and me, a peace picture of me in that other club that I may touch on the video later. Again, it comes off like dry snitching. I don't know how long my channel's going to go because I feel like I'm going to run out of stories. I'm only telling, I get guys, it's like, oh man, he talks all this more. No, I talk about my memories and my miles. So I can't do news at 2 and make that go viral. It's just not in me, And when someone decides to put and unalive me, I hope whichever one of y'all decide, if I'm important enough, whichever one of y'all decide to make a video about me, just say, hey, man, they had to get him that way because they didn't get him, toe to toe. Man, I am the nicest cat in the world. When I see cats, I'm so proud to see guys out on their motorcycle. Do you understand that when you're out there and you're riding, whether it's T-bars, whether it's this, whether it's ape hangers, whether it's, big bars, beach bars, sorry. I sounded very unintelligent as a biker. And that wind is on your chest. Most people will never understand why we ride. I live in Arizona where it's hot as fish grease. And it's always that one ill-informed, no tact person is like, man, you out here riding in this sun? Obviously, window liquor, because you see me sitting here. Or my wife would never I know, well, she don't really care about your safety. She just don't want the thought that your knuckle dragging ugly ass might get some attention because you're on a bike. Cousins, if you're watching this and you ride in an outlaw club, I don't know, I don't have a ton. I don't have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I'm new. I'm only new with this a few months. But I hope that even if you think the so-called war will never end, it can. And if you got to get kicked out because you chose to not let someone choose your destiny, your demise, then that means you were never really part of the family. I'm going to end it with this story. Situation happened. And a brother who I used to be very tight with, we were supposed to go get it cracking. And back then I was like, all right, and we were threatened that we're going to be kicked out the club if we don't show up, for this funk. And this brother called me. He said, you going? I said, yeah, of course I'm going. I went by myself. I told my charter, you ain't even got to go. I'll go. Nah, prayers with, nah. I wouldn't even tell him where it was. So I go and I see this brother. And I saw on his face, he was ready. He was ready for what was cracking. And when it didn't crack off, everybody wanted to go party and, they was cowards and blah, blah, blah. He took his shit off, walked over and said, yeah, I'm done. I showed up for the fight because I knew what I signed up for. He said, but I realized I'm not going to let someone pick my demise. And he has gone on. He's in another club, not an outlaw club. And I'm going to touch on this real soon, probably in a day or so, about what's the difference between, a 1%er club and just a regular 99. No, there's no, a man is a man. Don't get your feelings hurt. If a 99er, you got to understand, 99ers only give us our respect if we've done things respectable. But, you're going to run up on somebody and be like, yo, I'm some so-and-so. And he's going to go, what that mean? This is what that means. You are what? Okay. But this guy, he's gone on to just live at peace. And I'm asking you, I implore that next time you have Misa, you have church, if you didn't start the same fight while you were at work plumbing or doing construction or cooking or whatever it is that you do, why are you putting a costume on and then doing it later? If it's not a costume and it's still a part of you, then the same way you were earlier that day is the same way you should be later that day. You can stop this shit by starting with you. Because if you're going to sit here and say, I'm going to die for this club, you're a goddamn fool. I had someone send me a post and said, Big Cass, why would you join a 1%er club and choose not to do criminal activity? Isn't that what it's supposed to be? And I said, well, just like how we will say there's good cops and bad cops, I will say the best cop in the world is no cop at all. But, trust me, I can say something worse, but everybody gets their little panties in a bunch and thinks that I'm on some, cop demise. Not just don't. Anyway, no, people do criminal activities in the club. The club doesn't do criminal activities. People do. Just like cops, just like a bad accountant, just like a bad lawyer. You know what I mean? So, to my fellow outlaws out there, my fellow 1%ers, I'm nobody special. You know what I mean? I've only been doing this for a long time. But I'm able to still sit and talk some memories of Miles. Your celly ain't gonna want to hear it. And you will never see a Harley on the back of a hearse. And no matter what that chick looks like in prison, her name is still Chuck. Doing through. I appreciate you.
Love? There is no love for a thug.
Yo, what's that all about, man? That shit's unnecessary. I got your back.
It's all good. This shit needs to get fixed.
Well, speaking of fixing, you do me a favor and fucking hand me a 916 so I can finish this piece of shit bike?
I got you, bro.
Yeah, bro, what you waiting for? A special delivery guy now? Come on, bro.
Hey, D, give it to him.
Yeah, D, give it to me. Damn, man, what's sexy? That's all shit.
Things have changed in this life. Loyalty out the door. Commitment out the door. Yep. So I guess this is my goodbye. I'm out. Watch me ride away. Look here. Picture me rolling. 800 pounds of steel. One man, one road, living life real. I'm an outlaw. It's simple and plain, but the game done changed. Look here, the closest motherfuckers will bring you pain. Call your brother to your face and cut a link out your chain. Things just ain't the same in this 1% life. Watch who you call family hit your back with a knife. My old man said, every brother ain't your brother. Stand tall like a man, don't take shit, motherfucker. He gets slick, he get meat. Spit on the ground, ride off in the heat. He wanted some, he got some. Wasn't bad enough, cause he was fucking with a real one. I'm an outlaw, simple and plain. Look here, I'm an outlaw, simple and plain. Look here, I'm an outlaw, simple and plain. Look here, I'm an outlaw, simple and plain. Look here.
Yeah, born outlaw, raised with the have-nots. I came up chopping grams in the crack spot, going hard in the paint, in a black top. My nigga Al got killed by a black cop. Big money, big guns was the backdrop. All my bitches natural, no ass shots. My nigga Cass grabbed the Glock out the stash spot. Told them niggas hit the floor, everybody drop. Now we going through your pockets, give me all you got. Still do this for Kadar, Fatal and Pop. It's outlaw for life, this is all I got. It's outlaw for life, this is all I got.
I'm an outlaw, simple and plain. Look here, I'm an outlaw, simple and plain.